We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show, and we're back. And today we're going to be talking about what are processed foods, because I've been talking a lot about eliminating processed foods. It's key to eliminate processed foods in order to be healthy. We don't need to eat raw to be healthy, but we have learned that eating processed foods is what causes disease, and the raw foods doesn't heal us from eating poorly. What happens is when we eliminate the processed foods completely, that's what happens to heal you. It's not what you eat that heals you, but what you don't eat. You don't even need to eat a lot of raw foods as long as you're eating a healthy cooked whole foods diet. And I've always stated that the key is to eliminate processed foods, you need a healthy cooked whole food diet. And that's like the line here. And we've given like a diet that actually shows all the foods that a person can eat in order to be healthy, to hopefully, God willing, heal from disease and be healthy throughout old age without any pharmaceutical drugs, walkers, canes, or having to go in old age homes. So lately there's been a lot of stuff going on where people are saying, well, Matt, a lot of the foods on your website are processed. I'm like, oh, really? Why is that? Well, you know, you have kale chips, and when you put kale chips in a bag, you process them in the dehydrator, or Superfoods, maca. You've got to process it to get it into a powder form. Okay, so if you want to take the terminology of processed foods and bring it there, that's fine. So what I'm doing today is I'm kind of changing the terminology in order to be healthy. So the whole entire concept that I like to teach is something called the safe ground. Now, this is the safe ground from here. All the food that is on this side of the line can be damaging to the human body and cause disease in the long run. While everything on this side I used to like to call healthy cooked whole foods, to where if you eat only what's here, God willing, you're going to avoid all of these issues in the future. So we're going to change this safe ground line here. I'm not going to say processed foods anymore. We're going to talk about foods being damaging to the human body. Every food that is this much damaging to the human body and on this side is okay. And you would, God willing, be healthy to an old age. And everything over here, such as McDonald's and refined sugar and other processed foods, over here, this can cause aging and degeneration of our brain and all sorts of things on this side. So the key is, I used to just call everything here processed foods, but we're just gonna dial it in right here, because I'm recommending all sorts of quote and unquote processed foods on this side. There's even rice cakes in here, and people would say, or tinkiata pasta, which is brown rice pasta, and even animal protein and things like that fall in on this healthy side of this safe ground here. So from now on, we're not dealing with processed foods anymore. We're dealing with what foods are damaging to the human body, and all the ones over here and all the ones over here. Now, if you go to the link below at therawfoodworld.com/wholefoods.html, we actually have a list of all the foods on this side of the line. There's so many diets out there today, and I'm sure you've heard of many of them, such as the Zone Diet, the Macrobiotics Diet, the South Beach Diet, the Paleo Diet, and so much more. And all the creators of these diets, they claim to get results. They say people are healing from disease, people are losing weight, they're becoming more healthy. And to be honest with you, a lot of the people on these diets are doing so. They are doing well, they are losing weight, they are healing from disease. And there's one common denominator in why all these diets succeed. It's because, not what they're eating, it's because they're all eliminating certain foods. And every single one of these diets eliminate the same exact, what I used to call processed foods, the same exact damaging foods, such as refined sugar, which is ridiculously bad for the health, processed starches and stuff like this. While everything here, like, well, you can call a baked potato a processed food, but that's not. It's not damaging compared to the foods over here. A baked potato is on this side of the line. It's a whole food. Back in the day when we were living straight from the earth, we'd be eating things from the ground and cooking it and stuff like that. So in today's day and age, the reason why there's been such a downfall in the human health sector and why we're using pharmaceutical drugs and using walkers and canes and stuff like this is because we've taken in processed foods into our diets. Here in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, the elderly are still working with the 20-year-olds in the fields, and there's a difference here. They're on this side of the line. So the new thing for everybody today, processed foods, what are they? We're not even going to go there anymore. We're saying what foods are on this side at that link, and everything on this side is what we want to stay away from. So if you can eliminate everything on this side of the line and only eat what's on here, and there's all sorts of delicious foods, as you can see on that link that I showed you earlier, then that's it. You're done. Congratulations. You have the potential to be pharmaceutical drug-free and healthy throughout old age. That's where we're going. And the whole point of all this is we're not talking about processed foods. We're talking about what foods are not this damaging, but less. And let's say you're not able to do this right now, even though there's so many delicious foods here, and it's very easy for a lot of people. As long as you're on your way to this and here in the long run, you can also be okay. And we'll do another video on that in the very soon future. And this is Matt Monarch, rocking the Raw Food World house. And we'll see you next time at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.